watching us on the old YouTubes, hit that like button if you're just now joining us. We want to get to 50 likes immediately. That really helps us out with the old algo. Say something in the chat. Say what's up. That also helps out with the old algo, okay? If you don't know what the algo is, that's the algorithm. People will come in here and say, hey, the more you're active. At this point, I'm willing to accept negativity as long as it's activity. Okay? Appreciate you, Michael.
Book looking for Beal.
Booker. Driving. Good drive,
Book.
Good take,
that is
Book.
Such a hard running, like left-handed layup. Oh my gosh.
LeBron James backing up Beal. Kicks to D'Lo in the paint. D'Lo passes to the corner. Pass to Rob Reeves on the wing. He shoots for three. He
wide open.
Booker. Timothy, when I said negativity, I meant everybody but you. Tyus Jones for three. No good.
Damn.
This is what's happening in playback. We're on playback right now, Shane. Reeves. Good pass to AD. Drive. Call timeout, bud, please. Call a timeout.
We got two visitors in playback.
Hey.
If you guys can follow the channel, that
Nurk
gives us
three.
the ability.
Nurk for three.
If you guys can follow us on playback, that gives us the ability to actually give you the VIP.
Ball poked out by Beal, who Code doesn't want in the starting lineup. And then Tyus Jones tries to kick the Nurk, and it's out of bounds. Turnover. That's Tyus Jones' 1-0 turnover for the game. Get it out early.
AD the other way scores quick.
AD the other way scores quick, and it's a foul. Ian says, can we get the ball to KD? Yeah, I'm kind of with you on this one. He hasn't really touched it. He has one bucket. That's it. 7:34 to go in the first. 14-6, LA in front. Timothy says, if you actually think this game isn't over, you're insane. Well, when we played the Lakers, we had a good, 20-point lead on them, and then what happened? So who's to say that the script isn't written the other way around this time?
So Lakers came up a couple of times when I was at the gym today. One of my friends asked, he's like, are you guys going to get your revenge on the Lakers today? And then another guy asked if I thought the Lakers were real. And I was saying, some salty stuff about the refs. But I was saying they're always better at the beginning of the season because LeBron and AD are amazing. So when they're both fully healthy and rested, the Lakers are a lot better. But then, of course, they start to accrue injuries here and there. Not wishing that on them, just saying that happens. And then the team starts to unravel, it seems like. But that could just be my wishful thinking. Maybe the Lakers are for real this year.
Sorry, I'm not paying attention to anything you're saying. I'm watching this drum line tear it up right now.
Well, they should have you out there. And the fact that they don't is a little problematic. All right, at least we got a little representation front right.
There's a lot. There's some diversity there. I'm here for it. Look, they got a chick playing snare drum. She's solid. Dun, dun. Ooh, look at them quads, bro.
What's up, kids? How you been, man? What'd you say now? Just got a little quad drum?
Quads players. Good for them. That was sick.
About how difficult of a matchup for Nurk that AD is, right? We've talked about that a lot. It's more than that, though, ain't it? Ain't it, gentlemen and ladies? Ain't it a little bit more than a tough matchup? It's almost like you should sit Nurk versus AD. That bad. It's that tough. Everything Nurk don't got, AD got. Okay? Athleticism. Speed. Shooting ability. Black. He's got it all, folks. AD has it all. And it's just, I think where you could say, oh, it'll just be a difficult matchup. That's just going to be like big centers, but AD is big and super good. So it's almost like you shouldn't play him versus AD. And at one of two things is going to happen. Either that's going to be the reason why you end up moving off of Nurk because he just flat out cannot handle the top tier centers, or he'll have enough of it and figure it out and get better and push back and start recognizing, hey, I feel like AD's probably going to fly over my head and dunk and put his balls on the back of my neck. Let me box him out real quick. Things like that, you know? Hey, I'm backing AD down. He's giving up ground. I know what I'll do. A baby hook. No. Something else, please. What up, Knicks? Sundo, he's talking to his agent right now. I think they're getting ready to bring him up to PHX Sports. It's not surprising. All right, the man is made for bigger and better things.
Got to set. I know Booker's got to start doing something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, Book's not looking great yet either, but whatever. Just figure this shit out, all right? Lakers are a team you got to figure out. What are you going to do? We'll be fine versus other centers, I think, but it's just pretty bad, man. What does AD have? He's got to have like 15 already, which is a part of me parlay. What's up, Asia?
My boy named Wheezy. Somehow his hair got longer.
That's your boy, though. That's your boy. That could definitely be Sundo's job. We'd all be better off. I don't like to call for people's jobs, but I would like to place you in his.
Look at these free throws, bro.
Not a bad release. Not bad.
Dang, he's automatic.
He short-armed that last one. Timothy said, someone give Metro a membership. It's always at random, man. And God's plan has been very specific. Timothy McDonald says Bowl is better than Nurkic. They're just completely different players that play completely different styles and positions, you know? I don't think that we can say he's better at center, but maybe in the way that's new offense is supposed to go. You know? Like, if I'm Bull, I'm just shooting over everybody's face, dude.
Like,
I don't care.
the one time I need the Steelers to be bad.
What's going on?
They're winning by a lot. I need their kicker to score a lot of points. The one time I need them to actually be not good on offense, they're good on offense and scoring touchdowns instead of kicking field goals.
7 of 11 shooting from the field.
D'Angelo Russell gets it to LeBron James.
The rookie.
He's got Ryan Dunn on him. Connect, wanted it. Back to Bron. I'm frozen. Okay,
Bron
still
backing
posting
him
him
up.
up.
Turn around on Ryan Dunn. Good defense from Dunsky. Tyus Jones bringing the ball up the court. Wants a pick. Gets a pick from Plumlee. Tyus Jones.
Nice
Drives to
crossover
his
from
right.
Tyus. Nice
Kicks
whip
to the corner
pass.
to Ryan Dunsky. Ryan Dunsky, good pass to Booker. Booker pump fake. Back to Dunsky
Hit him,
for
Ryan!
three. You were
God damn.
you were too excited for that one.
I really thought it was going to go in. I was
excited.
going to lose it. No good. Plumlee, nice rebound. Keep Plumlee in the game, please. Bud.
What, Nurk playing that bag?
It's been Bird. Book whips it to Tyus. Tyus pump fake. Tyus floater, no good. Plum Daddy, rebound, kicks it out to Dunn.
No, yes.
Dunn to the rack on Braun. Dunn to the rack on Braun. Now, I didn't get to see that because it glitched all the way through it, but I saw after.
Because I don't know how to manage my video card.
That's your job. All right, you're the IT guy.
What a fast break. Good job. Good bucket there. Good recognition.
Making a pay. The Suns converting that one quickly.
The Lakers started to track me. The Suns are like catching up.
Christie, foul him, Devin Armani.
Ooh, foul on you, you dumb blonde bitch! Russell just bugs me, man. All right, there's things about him that bugs me. Number one, he's a snitch. Okay, number one.
Is it because he's a snitch?
Number two, he seems like an entitled type of dude. And number three, I hate the way he shoots his threes lately. He does the most zesty foot kick. He raises his foot back like a girl being kissed on a date in the 1950s. Every time he shoots a three, he's got to do some little sus shit with his feet to let you know that he thinks he's cool. You'll notice it. Watch that man shoot a three. I am. Book to the rack. And he makes it.
Booker on the float. Let's go. Maybe Dunn should be part of the starting five now. Maybe. But y'all need to chill out. He'll get there when he gets there. My dad's a coach, bro. I mean, not my dad's a coach, bro. Don't take him, bro. LeBron misses the three. Booker.
Line drive three, bro.
Brooker loses the ball because he's not Booker. He's Brooker until he gets better.
Brooker. Bro, I think Dunn just hit his forehead on the backboard.
No, that was Beal, bro.
No. I didn't say anything about who blocked it. I'm saying I think Ryan Dunn almost hit his forehead on the backboard. Look at this. Watch this. Whee! He had to duck his head. Watch Dunn.
Outstanding defense.
Oh, boy, it was going to block that, bro.
Yeah, Dunn was going to beat it. But Beal's too good, okay?
That wasn't a jump ball? That's bullcrap. Get it!
Steal. Get it up to Brooker. Brooker for three! Bricker! Let's get it back out, boys. Let's get it back out and restart. Let's reset something. Let's reset. Thank you. Brooker with it. Hachimura guarding. Brooker for deep. Hits it!
He can be Booker now.
Devin Booker!
Devin Brooker.
Let's go.
Just let's keep calling him Brooker. It's working.
Oh, man. So we got 221 watching. We love each and every one of you. You're our special little baby boys. Now, we got that out of the way. Hit the like button or you're a flat-out racist.
Hit the like ski, please.
Okay? You should listen to Plutowski from Future.
I won't do that.
Every other word has ski at the end.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
You're a hater. You're a hater.
Hey, I know this song. It's on the Madden soundtrack. Not that one.
The dancers ain't bad.
Something
At
like
dancing.
That.
I'm talking about the male dancers. All right.
Did they get an all-new dance squad? Because I don't recognize any of these faces.
Finally, we got, well, there we go.
Not him. Bro got a big nose, bro. That bro had a honker.
Yeah, Sundo's a Future hater.
This is true. This is facts. I'm not going to deny
understand
that.
Good music. Yeah, Chris Stu, he says foot on gas, AD's problems. Got to get it in while AD's not in there.
Or hear me out. We just get one of our two ways to go in the game and step on his foot the whole time.
The Sundo method?
the Bruce Bowen method. Malachi says, "How we feeling?" I'm feeling like there's
Better
comeback
now.
coming.
Better now. Minivan said, Sundo, did you vote yet?
There's no mail-in ballots in Missouri, so no, I haven't voted yet.
Why would you want to do mail-in?
I don't. He just asked if I voted yet, but it's like too early to vote. So obviously, it's not my mail-in ballots, right?
No, you can go in early. Early voting's open.
It's
been open for like over a week. I
No,
haven't gone yet.
No. I haven't gone yet, and I ain't never gonna go. As a matter of fact, I don't even think Missouri has early voting. I think you have to specially register for it, and I ain't. They told me no. You there on election day. They already sent it to my mail. They said no. They
said you smell like Kamala. No.
That's crazy. Sundo did a Sean Combs acoustic cover at his church this week. I did not do that. All right.
Group has played well for the Suns. 19-5 run.
And if I did a P. Diddy cover, it would be
every step you take, and then you're holding baby oil.
No, that's terrible. I wouldn't do that one. It would be I need a girl. I need a girl to ride. Actually, I don't even think that was P. Diddy. Wasn't that
real worthy
horseman? Look at that.
Right.
A 2-point lead at halftime. Who would have thought it? Who would have thunk it?
I don't know if I would have thunk it, to be honest. I mean, it just.
I said we were going to go on a run at the beginning of the stream in the first quarter when y'all were like, oh, game's over, Timothy. Yeah, I'm looking at you. But I don't care. I don't care if you send it and you sent the membership, okay?
I'm going to edit that out of the stream anyway, so no one's going to get to see that.
Okay. All right. You do that.
You start doing that. I'm start editing you to make you look bad.
All good burners now in here saying Sundo with the extra small shirt. Sorry, this is a extra large. Thank you. It's just a good fitted extra large. You know what I mean? It makes you look slimming.
You're just really swole, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
You're becoming swoldo. Oh, man. But, yeah, we got, like, a full house over on Playback, too, so cool to have it going. I mean, the freezing has definitely been better for me than it has been in games past, so let's get these stats up. Let's get this Sundo Sympnopsis running.
I didn't watch the first quarter, so I can't give you much of a synopsis. Remember, I was on a phone call. I just remember that I just know that I came back, and there was a run that had happened, and all of a sudden we were down by a lot.
So, I mean, I'll tell you, during the run, we looked completely disjointed. You remember how there was that thing, like this quarter, it was 9-10, and there was like 4 minutes left, and then we went on a score. We were doing that in the first half, and then somehow it was contagious, and then the Lakers started doing it. We were doing it together. We were like the Spider-Man meme, like, hey, you suck! And they're like, you suck too! And then all of a sudden we snapped out of it.
So I'm gonna looking at this right now. We were outscored 34-25 in the first quarter, and then we outscored them 25-14.
I feel really bad for Nurkic.
Why do you feel bad for Nurk?
Just on a human level, he's playing so bad. He is becoming so hated by Suns fans. And then he comes out here and it's like, I think we need to lower our expectations all the way down when he plays versus AD.
Should have been facts. We've only seen him versus AD, which is his kryptonite, and we're freaking out about it. We've been known that he's been dookie against AD.
It's extra right now. It's
look,
extra
y'all can say trash all you want. He's gonna be on the team, so you might as well get used to it. What's going on with this guy?
Real
watch
quick,
this halftime entertainment.
I am, and I got a feeling this guy's going to be a G. Okay,
I know, so I'm watching.
Whatever he's going to do is actually going to be worthy of being at a halftime show.
He just strapped it to his feet.
Walker Kessler's available, Sundo.
Hey, yo, for real?
Yes.
For what trade?
Yes, and Suns fans are hoping and praying that we outbid these Lakers because
We don't have the resources.
Well,
and the capital.
We don't know what they're asking for him though. Does anyone?
Well, I would imagine it's going to be more than what we can offer because we don't have that many draft picks.
I don't think you're going to have to give a Rudy Gobert haul for him or anything like that. There's a reason they're getting rid of him. There's a reason they don't want him. He's not.
Mac says they want 2 firsts. There's no way.
They want 2 firsts, Mac?
It's out. It's out of the question.
Well, don't we have a first?
DC with 5 gifted Nimbys. Mo Dizzle, Bonafide, Suzanne Kelly.
Illegal and Char the Pro.
Let's go.
That is amazing.
God's plan.
God's plan. All right. Let me get these horsemen's rattled.
Horsemen. 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 Horsemen.
Thank you, DC, for making 5 brand new.
Hey, yo, that was dope,
bro. Everything he's been doing has been pretty sick.
Bro, do you see the part where he stuck his head out and then right before it hits the floor, he like rolls back in? Dude, that freaking freaked me out. I thought he was gonna smoosh his head.
Smoosh his head.
Yeah, dude, Sulfur, the hoop guy is pretty cool. It's pretty dope. Were you guys at the Kings Suns comeback last year? I think we were.
I mean, we were definitely streaming that game. I remember that shit vividly. That was fun. That was when we thought we really had figured it all out. You know. This reminds me of like you telling.
I'm definitely gonna be scraping the floor after this.
This is like you telling your son, go to bed. You better not be messing around up there in your bedroom either. If I come up there, the lights better be off. You better be asleep. You go in there, he's doing this shit. That's what this looks like, a child's activity.
It's pretty dope. It's pretty
dope.
It
is. Oh, I shellacked him off again, Burner, during that Nebraska-Ohio State game. Burner, you probably never will be able to because they're always, not always, a lot of them are 11 o'clock games. But you got to come grace our Huskers channel, me and Gary's Husker channel, with your presence during a live stream. Sundo's in there. Sundo,
only the greatest Huskers channel on YouTube.
And bro, you don't have to send me donos. Don't send me donos, bro. I'll read everything you say.
You don't read everything I say, so that's why I send donos.
Yes, no, don't, bro. Do not send donos, bro. I got you.
Read my stuff. Plus, I like to send donos just to make people mad.
Yeah, it does work though.
It's like trolling all those Cornhusker fans that have their hopes up. Oh, Dylan Raiola's good. No, he's not. He's just a Mahomes wannabe.
You know? But yeah, Walker Kessler, Texas Ranger. We got to find a way. What's the best package you can give up right now in your mind and in your heart?
How much money does he make?
Let me look that up, sir. I should have been on this for you.
Because if it's not a huge amount,
Burner, I literally was going to call us Corn Hub, but someone else had like an Instagram account with it where they were making content, so I decided not to rip their name.
It's pretty genius.
It was going to be Corn Hub, and it was going to be the same exact logo. But
you wouldn't have got sued at all. You know,
a lot of people do that.
For the sake of the Lord, I'm glad you didn't get the name. You're better than that. Okay?
Look.
What are you laughing about?
He said, damn, Link.
Of course, that's Burner for you. You tell Burner that Sundo's on the Corn Hub and he'd be crazy.
Right? Curtis says, why does Grayson look like he's aged 5 years over the preseason? 2 reasons, okay, in my
He's
opinion.
had a child, bro.
He just had
his
a
wife
kid.
did.
He has not been playing full-time like he normally is. He also put on 30 pounds of muscle. That's great. I think it's going to serve him very well. But he has an adjustment period. He needs to get used to running up and down the court with a 30-pound weight vest on during every game. He needs to get used to shooting while tired, carrying around 30 extra pounds on his frame. I mean, the structure of his muscles are like completely different now. He's bulky. He has to learn how to shoot with a bulky upper body. I'm excited for him, but it's not going to be automatic. Maybe he wouldn't have been like this if he had not had the injury and the child absences, but maybe he would be. He might still be going through this little learning curve of playing as a beef daddy. Is it okay if I call him a beef daddy? Is it okay if I call him a beefcake? Local Huskers in your area podcast. Mac says Suns can't trade 2 players. That's not true. As long as the other team is trading 2 players, and as long as you're not having to add up. So if you trade a player that's making less money than the player you're trading for, you're okay. But if they make more than the other person, so you have to find someone that makes less money than the person you're trading for, so you have to take on money. But you can't do it like, hey, we'll give you 3 players that will be, you know what I mean? So it's a little tricky, but thank God for having y'all's Tory Jones to explain it. They are playing him tight too, Ruben. That's a good point. You know, I'm just thinking about it, man, because I don't have kids yet. If the Suns win a title, I have no problem naming one of my kids Grayson or Booker as a first name. Booker as a first name is...
Why don't you just name him Kevin?
That's on the table.
What about Tyus?
I don't know if I'm black enough to name my kid Tyus.
Tyus Guerrero would be dope.
Would
Booker
it?
Guerrero
It's not bad.
would be dope. Armani
Guerrero.
Oh. That would be sick.
Yeah. But I like Grayson. I like the GG. Except I won't do what my parents did to me. Okay? I won't give him a middle initial that will scar him for life.
Fourier says, I hear Drew Eubanks is available.
We might have to pass on him for now.
Booker Guerrero.
How about Devin Kevin Guerrero?
Devin Kevin Guerrero. Grayson Guerrero is pretty dope.
Zonabot said, I thought Zonabot was suggesting I name him Bull. Bull Guerrero.
Bull Guerrero is actually pretty dope.
Oh,
what about
man.
Gordon Guerrero?
If only he hadn't, ruined his time.
What about Budenholzer?
How about Nurkic Guerrero so he gets bullied his whole life?
Yusuf Guerrero.
Bismack. It's got to be a champion son. All right? It's got to be linked to a title. The Suns' first title.
How about Chris Guerrero after his uncle? And Chris Paul.
Or I could name him after my dad, Eddie Guerrero. That would go hard. That would go hard. And maybe you could be the godfather. You could get him into wrestling. You have a little Mexican tagging around,
Haven't learned the three amigos.
You could, when you hang out with him, you always wear a Rey Mysterio mask, so he never knows your true face. Gucci Guerrero.
Nick F. Guerrero.
Yes. Tie. Oh, we got a super chat? I didn't even see it. Roy. Ooh. $1.99 from BBL Roy. Roy. Roy, how are you named Roy, by the way? Roy's the whitest name, Roy. Is it not? When I hear the name Roy, I think white nationalist. I don't know. Anybody know a lot of...
Where's the white devil? Get the white devil on deck.
All right, I'm going to text out a couple of white devils. First white devil might still be bowling because the man bowls 8 days a week.
Sundo, what's your real name, Malachi? I mean, I ain't telling you that. I'm Sundo.
I
made a flu grad.
Here we go. Let me turn this audio back up.
Okay, it's bedtime. I just want to stay through that first time. I believe in the Suns. I do. But I'm going to take place in what they call the it's really for baseball. I'm going to invoke the closure rule. When the closure's in the game, you can't get mad. Turn the TV off, and if they lose, you can't be mad. And if they win, they did their job.
Last time you went to bed early, we turned around and won.
We have a lead. I'm going to pretend like I'm not going to see us, and I'm going to go to bed thinking that we won with the lead, and I'll wake up tomorrow and feel the way I'm supposed to. I'm tired of all the Nurkic slander anyway. I'm out to sting y'all.
Maybe they're just too good for us to overcome early in the season when we're figuring out our team.
Maybe. But I'm out to sting y'all.
Later, bro. You know what's funny is me and Sundo didn't even know there was a game today. Like, if you remember the last stream, I think we all agreed the next game was on Tuesday and no one corrected us. And so as me and Katie are falling asleep last night, she's like, hey, do you have a stream tomorrow? And I was like, nope, I get to just chill, hopefully. And I don't know, I'll get some work done for the rest of the week. She goes, yeah, you have a game tomorrow. I'm like, no, we don't. And she goes, look, as she hands me her phone, I was like, this today? But Sundo just texted me and said he was literally falling asleep on stream pretending he was watching his phone. And then Gary said just leaving bowling, so we might have a white devil by the fourth quarter. All right, game is back. Evans has got any guests coming in? It's funny you say that. So I do want us to do guests. I want us to do but I don't know, man. I'm like awkward when it comes to asking for that type of shit, like DMing people and being like, yo, want to come on the show. But it's like, why not? Like, why would people not want to? I've seen channels with less, I guess, reach than us, or that aren't outperforming us get guests. Like, maybe we could get a guest, but I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It needs to be for a reason. I don't know. More than anything, I hate the fear of rejection. The idea of I just, when it came to girls, like, I pretty much never asked a girl out unless she was throwing herself at me. All right? And those are the only girls I got. I feel like it's the same way when it comes to this. I'm like scared to ask, you know. But like we tried to get Trey Jemison because Sundo was obsessed, you know. And I feel like that was really the only person we've ever tried to get, you know. I want to get Archie Goodwin because that's like he's like my Trey Jemison, you know. We're definitely trying to get Kamala up in here. She might be a little difficult to get though. She picked Club Shay Shay over us, and I can understand that. Yeah, TKN Braun's playing garbage. Yeah, Sam, I did. I was the one that reached out to Blazers Uprise. You know, that was in the very beginning when we had like 60 subs total, like maybe 60, maybe 30. And we got lucky with Tori that their chat seemed receptive. Their chat really wanted us to do a crossover, and it worked, dude. We can win this game. I don't care if it takes overtime again like it did last time. Ooh, that's a good question. Evan said, favorite all-time NBA jersey? Oh, man. Michael Jordan black pinstripe. Come on. You think I'm new to this shit? Huh? Jordan black pinstripe. And then, you know, Metro, I don't understand why the Suns haven't reissued black sunburst jerseys, because those are my favorite. I like the black and orange sunburst. I also like the orange ones. I don't understand why they just had to get rid of those. I think we should have 4 jerseys. These white ones, we could have black ones just like it. Orange ones and gray long sleeves. Just kidding, the purple ones. And they hit a 3 just to stick the dagger in a little bit more before the end of the third. We need a bucket here. Booker pulls up a crazy mid-range set. I don't even feel good about, but it did go in, so who am I to complain? That was nutty. Half-court 3 from D'Lo. I probably would have flown to LA and stabbed him had that gone in. So I'm glad it didn't. I get to live on the outside of jail still.
5-13 scoring run and lead at 83-76.
Yeah, I just feel like that black pinstripe Bulls is so iconic, you know? Best jersey ever, man. Yeah, those Red Horse jerseys are sick. Pistons had great ones. The old Grizzlies, big country throwbacks. I kind of liked, I mean, they're not up there as nearly as high, but I do like those Miami, like, ransom note ones. Thought those were pretty clean. Precious said, nah, we are not winning. I mean, we're only down, what is this, 7? 7 points? We're chilling. Straight chilling. You know, one thing I'm noticing is our third quarters have all been like this. What the hell is going on? I should pull them all up and look side by side. Damn near every third quarter we come out of half flat. So we got to have a different type of fourth. Yeah, the AI Sixers ones are great too, Ruben. No question. What are they doing in the stadium? This is cool. I can't do it. I've made 2 videos back-to-back about Ryan Dunn. Like, at some point, you guys are going to get tired of this shit. But gall dang did we hit in this draft. Here's why I'm freaking out, okay? His defense is goddamn elite. His three-point shooting, so far statistically elite. I do expect it to come back down. There's no way he stays a 40% three-point shooter. If he does, great. I don't think that's going to happen, right? His ability to get to the basket is there too. Like, we're talking, the only thing his offense is missing is a mid-range and like pull-up mid-ranges and shit. Everything else is there. Better than you thought it was going to be. Never been happier to be wrong about who the Suns should draft. King West, thank you with the gifted membership over to Michael Bowe. Welcome back, Michael Bowe. You are again a
Horseman!
It's got to be really funny in playback. They don't hear the horseman. I'll give you guys a horseman in playback. Horseman! There you go. Guys, we got 327 watching. Welcome to a great game between the Suns and y'all's Lakers. They were tangled up. They went down. I'm just mad at the situation. Like, I'm not mad at them giving them one. I don't know. I need to see a closer, better angle. What do you guys think? Honestly, was that Beal or was that Reeves? Because I don't know. That was a very shitty offensive possession, right? So what happened was KD had it at the top of the key. Beal came up and set him a screen, rolled, caught it at the three-point line, relatively open, and I think he just should have pulled it. You know, there would have been about 6 seconds on the shot clock. 6 seconds. You don't need to waste it down. You just need to find a damn open shot, and that's what it was. But he wanted to get it to Book in the corner. He hits Book, and Book bobbles it, and now there's 3 seconds, and you have AD guarding you. So he runs into the free throw line and goes, holy shit, I'm having flashbacks of what just happened. I'm going to get blocked again. Kicks it to Royce. Royce is smothered, has to... Oh, boy, here we go. LeBron gets fouled on the ground by KD after LeBron spun around and fell to the ground with the ball. And, you know, the only reason we got that foul is because he slipped. So we fouled him for 2. We're going to do this free throw game. I love it. Very was a real man, by the way.
Why does Book sound dumber than me when he talks?
Like deeper voice?
Just annoying.
How is
like,
it
I
annoying?
think my voice is insanely annoying, and he's like, yeah, it's not that bad.
You think his...
He sounds like one of Dion's kids, man.
All right, so I'm going to have to put the Shut Up Gary emote back in the rotation.
You're going to want to get that right away.
Okay. I apologize for this white devil. He doesn't represent this channel. He doesn't represent Suns fans. All right? What you're listening to is a Spurs cuck who's sad that Wemby forgot how to shoot threes.
Hey, as a fellow
cuck?
Riri-sounding brethren, I can say that.
That's true.
We can say that.
That's your people. Man, I know June DeFool, you're going to have to deal with this pale devil.
What'd he say?
So that's not Sundo.
No. Definitely not. Not as cool.
I'll give you guys the Sundo synopsis, me damn self. The Suns are good this season. Now, shut up, Gary! Comparatively to where they were at this time last year, this Suns team...
You mean Game 3?
Shut up.
Jesus Christ. Why does anybody give a fraction of a shit what's going on in the NBA right now at this point in the season?
Because we're not Spurs fans. But
Okay.
Okay.
I remember the Spurs owning you guys last season.
That was an accident. We were joking.
I'm just
Those
saying,
were joke games.
I'm not saying that to say the Spurs were better by any stretch. I'm not insane. I know I sound dumb. I'm not actually dumb. But no one ever mentioned or brought up when you guys were seeded come playoff time. If we'd have won those games we should have against the Spurs back in October, nobody gives a shit, dude. The season's too long. No one gives a shit. No one gives a shit.
Now, that is how losers talk, everybody. Back to winning.
That's why I'm talking.
So, go back to watching your Huskers, all right? And, and deal with that for now.
Another 4-point win or loss.
Let me explain to you why we're excited. Because last season...
I came here to learn.
and be taught how to be a better fan.
Mm-hmm.
Last season... first of all, we didn't have Beal. So the big three never got to start together. They've already played 3 out of 4 games this season. He only sat 1 game with that elbow injury after a really hard fall. He came back. So having the guys playing together and looking like they're figuring this new offense out. That's what I'm excited. Like, we all don't have a White Walker that's been coaching our team since before time existed. Okay, we haven't been running the same. In fact, we've been ripping off, like, the last 3 years we've run 3 different offenses. And last season it did not start well. It was an abomination. And that's not happening this season except for Nurk. That's not happening. So I do want to give you your flowers on Nurk. And speaking of rip the Band-Aid off, I got to rip it off halfway at least and say, I think the only time we're going to get good Nurk is when he's the bigger center.
Yeah. I wasn't saying it the other day to talk shit. He's truly a backup center. And if you can get, like you're saying, where he can physically impose himself on somebody else, then he's going to look like a legit guy. But there's just too many good bigs in the league for him to be. But the way your team's set up, that's not a significant part of your offense. You just need him to do what he's asked to do well. And this year,
this game, but hear me out real quick.
I did not watch this game.
I know you were bowling. So let me explain what happened. So we started the game with him. He got the ball in the post, backs down AD, tries a baby hook, and AD blocks it with his forearm. Right, just beats the shit out of it. It's like, what are we it was disgusting. And he's flopping around, getting pushed around, falling to the ground, missing everything he puts up, missing jumpers, missing passes, throwing the ball like he had the yips, bro. Like he's terrified of AD or something.
How can he not just bully AD? I get he doesn't have the talent level or the athleticism, but strength and body size, he should be able to just back him down to where he's completely under the rim and then dunk on him.
It's like AD waits and just jumps so high compared to Nurk not jumping over the width of a nickel. And it's like he can beat all of his shots, man. And it's every time they play. And yes, Lufa, he is an elite defender. There you go. Thank you. Rob Knob said AD is long with good timing. I'd say great timing.
And you spoke blasphemy earlier when you said he was the best shot blocker in the league. I'll wait for
You're right. My bad. I'll wait.
I'll wait. A 19-year-old demolished him in blocks last year, but I'll wait.
I did know when I was saying it because I think I said probably. I added that because I knew I had to be wrong.
Just kidding, man. I don't give a shit.
I know, but it is Wemby though. That's for show. That's a for show right on.
That's a for show right on.
Suzanne said, "Katie, the man for real. Pray this man stays this healthy all season because he's just carrying this team when it matters most. 30 for him and 33 for Book. Nurkic with that Nurkic with a -20 in a win, bro. His plus minus was like -25 at one point. Like it's just Man, it's so bad, bro. Like
Malachi needs a Suns win from you before they go away. Don't piss Malachi off because that'll piss me off.
I
You
didn't know you
want
had
that.
Malachi's back like that.
I didn't either until just now. Just hit
Oh
me.
shit. Well, I'll record it and send it to him. All right.
Who do you guys have next?
Clippers again. And then the vaunted Blazers.
Why does the NBA suck so bad, man?
In what way? I mean, there's a lot of...
You're going to play 4 games and play 2 teams. Spurs played the Rockets back-to-back.
Yeah, man, I don't know what that's
And
all
especially,
about.
I get maybe later in the season when you can, like, cut down on travel and shit like that. But early on, we ain't trying to see these teams keep playing each other. Trying to see what we got or how the new players or the new systems or coaches or whatever you want to call it work out. And it's like, no, just play the same 3 teams for the first month
Over and over and over. Like, yeah. But I'm glad to play the Clips now while they don't have the claw. All right.
You can play them anytime this year. They're not going to have him.
True. Very true. Mo Dizzle said the Clippers, then the Blazers. And then after that, I can't remember who the next team is. But we were worried, man, getting through this first because we're starting with a fresh offense and coach. We were pretty nervous about these first 5-6 games. We felt a lot of Suns fans felt like they were getting a screw job put to them, having to play.
The downside is, say you had gone 0-3, you'd only have 79 games to try to bounce back from that. No one comes back from 0-3 with only 79 measly games left to play.
You said
the season's not too long.
You said no one was complaining that if we had just handled those Spurs games, but I promise you, I was, and I promise you that sexy chocolate beast behind you was. We were both specifically talking about the Spurs losses.
Not to me.
On streams and on Bleacher Report.
Not even on Bleacher Report. I asked Bleacher Report executives just now.
Well, then I've been found out.
I've got them, yeah.
Then I take that part back.
Just
I didn't know I was going to get exposed like that.
You're getting fact checked right now. I'm not getting fact checked, but you are.
So that's why we're excited, man. We're starting off this season strong. The only game we've lost so far was to the Lakers, and it was talk about a screw job, bro. It was Ohio State versus Nebraska all over again.
Yeah.
And I'll fuck you up if you say different. Oh, Coach Bud, everybody. A real
shit.
Man.
A real coach.
Actual beta male replacement. I present to you the blue-eyed alpha male.
The blue-eyed
Mike
alpha.
Budenholzer.
I think we were up 3. Felt like we wanted to just kind of protect, try and guard the three-point line, the attention to there. So with Kevin's length and Royce's toughness and Ryan's, kind of toughness and length and athleticism, we went with that group, and they were able to get a big stop and a big rebound for us.
And then obviously on the other side of that, Nurkic, you didn't play probably from.
Said Nurkic didn't play from 6:50 to the last end of the fourth.
Mason was great tonight. So I think
let's not do that, Bud.
Our team, the bench,
let's not do
early.
that.
I think it's only 4 games, whatever it is.
Let's not say it's because Plum Daddy was playing so good, although he was.
Well, and,
You're not that guy.
It's early.
You're
for Mason,
not that
but I thought
guy.
He was fantastic tonight. So, sometimes there's different versions of going with the hot hand, defensively and energy and all those things. I thought Mason really had a big positive impact on the game, so we kind of rolled with him.
Another thing I had was just to be able to scrap and get a win like that, considering what happened last week. What are you most pleased with?
Yeah, I think just the toughness, the edge that the guys are, developing and growing, the competitiveness. That's what we talk about, competing. When you can, take a punch like that in the first quarter, lean on your defense to get back in it, really lean on your defense the whole night. That's, I feel like if we can develop a defensive identity, a defensive toughness, we'll just keep working and trying to get better on the other end. But having that edge, that competitiveness on defense, I think tonight, really stood out.
Do you think that's the best defense you guys have played this year?
Yeah, I mean, it's, I thought, again, it's only 4 games in. There's been stretches in each of the games where the defense has been at a pretty high level. And, the hard thing is to sustain it for 48 minutes. That'll be a challenge. That'll be something we talk about during the year. And but certainly to go down like we did, and, I really feel like it was our defense that allowed us to get back in it and find a way to win. So, good effort there.
LeBron had kind of a tough offensive night. Was there anything in particular you were happy about how you guys defended him?
No, I mean, he's such a great player. He always deserves a ton of attention, a ton of effort. There was, I thought, the individual pride and the guys guarding him. Again, I thought Mace, his verticality, his length at the rim. Even other guys, Royce and Ryan, are developing a knack for contesting shots and making it tough in the paint. Kevin's length at the rim. So I think it's a little bit of everything. And sometimes they just have an off night. He's such a great player. I don't know if it was anything that we did.
Book and KD both had it going tonight. What did you like about the balance?
Yeah, I thought Book was, finding a way to get to his spots and get some of his looks. I thought, created some threes for him, and then the same thing for Kevin. He got to his spot a couple times, got good shots. So they're just great players finding a way to get it done for us.
Feels like Ryan has had an impact every time he's come in. What is it about him that's made him so effective when he's gotten to do it?
Well, I think, we've talked a little bit about trying to develop a defensive identity, a toughness, a competitiveness, and, that's probably the definition of Ryan Dunn. I think he gives us an edge on defense. He gives us length and athleticism, takes on tough matchups. I think he's a rim protector, even at his size, a rebounder. And he's making shots and, in transition layup. Just he's doing all the little things that go into winning.
Does his confidence in tight games like this surprise you so early in his career?
Yeah, I mean, it's we're all getting to know each other, so, Ryan's not any different than the whole group. And I think his teammates have done an amazing job of kind of supporting him, encouraging him, letting him know, how much they believe in him and to be aggressive, to be confident. And, I mean, it's one thing for the coach to say it, but when you have your teammates telling you and encouraging you, it just makes all the difference in the world. So I think the leadership from, our veterans, from our big dogs, has been really impactful on Ryan.
Royce's plus-minus has been through the roof through 4 games. What do you think about his game allows for him to impact it in the way that he does, despite being a guy who takes it 5 shots a game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all the little things that go into winning. It's getting a loose ball, it's getting a rebound, it's fighting through screens, verticality at the rim, getting to second actions offensively. He just keeps things moving. He just, there's lots of little subtle things that go into winning.
We got to figure out how to get Grayson
Royce just
going.
really understands those and does them night after night.
How's his verticality?
He's been super
Limited.
impactful for us.
So apparently Bud really likes verticality.
Some of the best you've seen from a guy that young.
Don't question Bud.
No, sir.
He's way above you.
I think for a guy to just come out of college,
Don't even look at him,
he has
actually.
got some
There you
experience
go.
there, some
Eyes
years,
down.
but, his ability to get through screens, his ability to impact the game defensively. And again, it's early. He's got a lot of work to do. He's got, there's some mistakes he's making, but he's learned every time he makes one. He wants to know about it. He wants to learn from it. His commitment has been high level, and there's been a lot of great plays for him defensively.
Like, how does a coaching staff get a team, especially one that's so offensively gifted, how do you guys get them to buy into having a defensive identity?
I mean, we work on it in practice. I think the guys, I think there's a competitiveness and edge to our group that, yes, no doubt we have a lot of offensive firepower, a lot of talent, but I think those guys know that for them to win, for us to win, they've got to be great defensively. We've got to be great defensively, and and some nights it may be our offense, but hopefully every night we can bring our defense, and so we're going to continue to harp on that.
Coach, when you go small with Kevin Durant, you put him at the 5. How can you use his length and just versatility at that position to alter more shots at the basket?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's, the
What kind of
combination
third
kinda he
world
and
water
Royce and maybe
bottles are they
Ryan,
drinking from, bro?
Not always Ryan, but Royce and Kevin, when we
They're probably trying to hide the brand.
five
That makes sense. They
small
put tape
guys,
over it to
whoever
hide the
you wanna
brand.
call the 5. I just, I think at the end of the day, Kevin's length can change the game.
Later,
at the
Sulfur.
rim. I think he's been rebounding at a high level. He's just been doing all the little things when we go to that lineup.
I know, Chris.
And
I
think
agree.
The guards have been getting back in and rebounding. Royce, physical. So, but Kevin's length. At the end of the day, he's got the length to change and impact the game defensively. If we go to the kind of that grouping.
Coach, the last couple of games, you guys have done a much better job of closing out games. How much emphasis have you put on that, considering the issues that the team had last year regarding closing out games?
Yeah, I mean, we've worked on it some, and I think there's nothing like having games that kind of put you, in the lab, put you in the pressure cooker, and credit to the players. They've been good down the stretch in several different situations, and we've worked on it some in practice, but there's nothing like getting these game reps, and I think that they're just they believe in each other. They believe we can finish games, close games. Tonight I think it was Brad and no Tyus, and nights it's going to be Tyus. We need to be able to do it different ways, and it's just a credit to the players. All right, thanks, guys.
God, I love him. I love him. All right? Not because of his answers, just I love his offense. It's so much better than Frankie's.
I thought it was going to be his pigment.
I love his pigment, baby.
Sounds about right.
You know?
Sounds about right.
I like his brand of whiteness more than I liked Frank's, if I'm being completely honest. Yeah. So we're going to get you that Mossy Oak bowling ball.
The bowling shoes. They're
No,
Mossy Oak bowling
he
shoes.
He said he was joking, but he looked it up, and there is a Mossy Oak bowling ball. So we need to get you a custom Mossy
Who
Oak.
makes it? I'll go pick one up tomorrow.
And we need to have you dripped head to toe in Mossy Oak. Okay?
And a Bass Pro hat.
Yes. Are they both German? You're right. You're right. They're the same brand of white. My bad.
So a lot of people keep talking about, excuse me. Bowling really takes it out of you, Gabe.
Gopher skin shoes.
Gopher skin bowling shoes. A lot of people talking about trading for Claxton. React to them.
React to me. First of all, Navin went to school with Crouch. Navin, me and Gary. Is that an Eric Crouch shirt, or what does it say? Eric what? Your shirt, cuck. Oh, Eric Church. He thought it said Eric Crouch.
I didn't even know what I was wearing.
No, but me and Gary actually have a pretty successful Huskers YouTube channel. Check it out. Big Red Rant. Shout out. Burner said Gary spits tobacco down the lane to smooth out the bowling ball. I thought everyone did that.
Yeah,
I guess it's just a
weird
Gary
if you
thing.
don't. Weird if you don't.
Smooth Savage said Clax would be good in my opinion. He's got length and defensive intensity. Not only that, he can actually sometimes shoot the three, and he's expanding that part of his game. I am doubtful Nurk is going to scratch that ability back off because it seems gone.
Claxton can't shoot threes. Not at the level you need in that offense.
Right. Could he do it better than Nurk?
Small.
Yeah,
sure, in stretches.
I know he's small, but
he makes $7 million a year more. So not only would you have to add somebody to get the contracts to match, you'd have to do something to make the Nets pull that trigger. And then how much improvement would you get? That's why I asked you. That's my opinion is that's a horrible fit. He's a better player for sure. and I would take him on my team over Nurk. But in the system that you guys are running, the players you have, the cap space where it's at, I think that would be an absolute horrible trade for you guys. That's just me, dogging. What are we looking at now?
No, just it was a good breakdown of it. I know it sucks. I know he's a horrible shooter, Francis, but you remember that one time when he hit that three and KD, like he hit it right on KD and KD looked at him like I don't know.
It's just a case of, I know it sounds dumb, but the better player isn't always the better fit for certain teams. You know what I'm saying? For sure,
Right.
he's the better player.
But you do think the Suns need to find a better fit for center? For
The
starting
Spurs need to
center?
find a 3-point shooting center.
Sorry,
And that's
Suns.
literally it. Yeah.
Sorry, Suns. You think we do?
Mm-hmm.
You just
Or
said
you need to change up
Spurs.
the offense a little bit. No, you did. I wouldn't say something.
Oh,
That's
okay. My
That
bad.
was you.
I'm a bozo.
I
I'm a
grew up
bozo.
in a middle class income family.
Oh shit! I gotta get off your back then.
Yeah.
Okay. Sam said maybe they'll go with Brooke Lopez from the Bucks if they continue to struggle. That'd
That
be
would
slick.
be a great fit for you.
That would be like
if you could find a way to make that happen.
yeah, but he's probably making more too. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Francis. I don't mean I would want Claxton to be a stretch five. I would just trust him about the same or more than Nurk right now.
He's more athletic. He'd get you more
Way
rebounds.
more
and he'd be
athletic.
able to switch when teams screen.
And actually guard the perimeter a little bit.
Yeah, and get mismatches where he had to defend, cover ground and defend. But I don't think it'd be a $7 million difference.
Ethan says Kelly Olynyk, which is actually very true.
Rom, it's hilarious. You said, look at Rom's comment.
Yeah,
Remember
it
after
says-
we got off last time?
Yeah, Gary was suggesting to me, and I told Sundo the perfect center in Gary's eyes for us is their backup now, right?
Yeah.
Zach Collins. But Ethan was saying Kelly Olynyk. I hate Kelly Olynyk so much. I just don't like him. He's just
He wouldn't be bad in that
he would
role.
be so good in that role, bro. So overpowered compared to what we're doing right now.
I'm with Timothy, though.
What Timothy got?
Please, not another white big. I would have left big
Good
out.
point.
I would have just said not another white.
Mm.
You know I can't stand those goddamn whites.
Yes. Productions, if you can just message me on Twitter or message me on Discord, I'll send you the link. The second we open that bad boy up, Voldemort shows up sniffing around. You know?
Voldemort comes back as All Rails Productions.
Yeah, Voldy.
And needs a link.
All right. Gary's probably the type of dude who can handle moonshine. And I think Burner can tell just by looking at you.
Yeah.
Francis said, not many options out there. Brooke Lopez would have been a home run. Valanciunas, Zach Collins, Steven Adams. Zach Collins is top of the list, right up there with Valanciunas. Oh, it's Jobin. Nice. What up, Job? Later, Mo Dizzle. Back to these stats, though. I don't know if you know this, and I know this is going to be very important to you. Royce O'Neal is playing the best basketball I've ever seen him play, dude.
Hold on a second.
You going to
Say
write
it
that
again?
down?
Yeah.
Royce O'Neal put ballin'
Okay.
Okay.
And this is already game 4?
We're going into game 5.
So it's basically the season's almost
Basically,
over.
we're fighting for, we're jockeying right now.
Got that.
Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Royce is, but 4 games in a row, Royce has played better than I saw him at all last year.
That's all that matters. If anybody does anything for a 4-game stretch during the season,
but he's doing it with defense.
I'm going to be amazed.
His defense is more replicable than shooting. I'm not bragging to you that he's hitting shots. I'm bragging
just
to you
saying
that
a
he's
4-game
clamping.
stretch might as well be over half the season. That's all I'm saying.
Bob said Royce is playing with heart. Absolutely. Like energy, heart. Like he loves his teammates, loves his coach, loves the position he's in, and just wants to die out there for his team. I love players like that. And then Ryan Dunn. Ryan Dunn, Gary.
Rookie of the year, Ryan Dunn. Is that who you're talking about?
ROYN Dunn. Okay. All right.
You mean Stephon Castle's runner-up? Is that what you're saying?
How is old Castle boy doing?
I didn't see tonight's game, but
Wow.
before tonight's game, and we all know
You're just halfway through the season.
2 games is all that matters
Mm-hmm.
that I saw. Never a better rookie ever in the history of rookies.
Trace is voting for Dunn for president. He's going to write him in.
I already did. I wrote him in because I'm a Kamala guy.
Right.
I wrote him in as Kamala's running mate.
Woo!
I don't like Waltz. He's too white. But I do like Kamala. So
And you think
Kamala, whatever
there's what
it
percentage
is.
chance of that working?
100.
Booker's talking. Shut the hell up.
Shut your mouth.
Yeah, let's listen to this.
Just shoot
Tough
basketball.
shot making by Kevin Durant. And just defending, try to make them make the toughest shot as possible. And they hit a couple, but we just stayed with it. Got some big rebounds, and then just ended up coming out with it.
You and Kev both had it going tonight. What did you like about the balance in terms of both of you being able to get to your spots and get going?
Just trying to be aggressive, just still finding those areas in the parts of the game.
You know what he sounds like?
Just to
He sounds
get the
like
easiest
he
looks,
has your attitude to the beginning of this
tight, setting
season.
the table.
That's
trying to
the
get out in
mood I
transition.
feel from him.
Don't
He
let people
should.
get to our bodies
Yeah.
and
He should.
switch anything. Just play faster.
You made that save near the end of the game. Could you see who you were saving it to?
I knew he was in the area. That was an iffy play, because you never know. I probably should have held on to it, took the out of bounds, and set our defense, but it worked. Yeah.
Look, you guys held LeBron to 11 points on 3 of 14 shooting tonight. What did you like about your team's defensive execution?
Just throwing multiple bodies at him and, trying to make it tough on him. Trying to wear him out throughout the game. And, that's hard to do. We seen his last game versus Sacramento on the second night of a back-to-back. At his age is just simply unheard of. So, guys like that, you just want to try to wear them down the most you can. And switching bodies between Royce, Brad, and Ryan, they all did an excellent job on him.
It's been a close game for you.
Romp says why he got Lego hair.
Yeah.
He has got a little mini fro going on right
That
now.
play from last game, make a layup on one end and, a block on the other end within 3-4 seconds. Just all the intangibles. And at the same time, will knock down the open shot when he needs to. So he's really important for our team.
Coach complimented the confidence that you've given Ryan. And do you remember getting that from PJ and some of the guys in your rookie year where it really helped you get comfortable quickly?
Yeah. And then I was just, I had a lot of opportunity too. So I was kind of just thrown into the fire and, had some great vets, but at the same time, just learned through experience. I was fortunate to be in that situation.
What are you guys doing defensively? You feel that's led to being able to hold teams under lower numbers than you guys did last season?
We have different players. I think we're still can be better on that end. We're still figuring things out and talking through huddles, and coaches open to anything and what's effective. So, we've tried many different coverages. I think we're in the part of the season we're trying to figure out what works the best for us, and it usually depends on matchup and who you're playing against.
The part of the season.
We have a
The
rotation.
very
different
goddamn
looks
beginning.
that we're doing, so it's not just necessarily one thing.
Get down and give me 10 push-ups for that interruption.
Didn't just have some stops, but some really physical stuffs at the rim and stuff like that. Do you think both of them are kind of giving this team a little more of a
You all right? Breathe through them.
6.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, they take it personal, and, you know, it's a domino effect throughout the whole team. So, you know, we all know what we're capable of on the offense end, and we know how we need to show that is getting a stop and, you know, getting out in transition.
The way Ryan's able to just stick with guys and get on his screens, I guess his screen navigation, that's some of the best you've seen.
Yeah.
I can do those all day, Burner.
What makes him, you know, at such a young age, I guess, so adept at that end?
I think, you know, he just carries himself more mature. You know, he has a mature lifestyle. You know, his body's developed. He's strong. You know, he's not scrawny. He doesn't need to put on weight or get stronger in this department. Like his athleticism is already at a top NBA level, and he's using it. So, you know, he's gonna learn some things along the way that are gonna make things easier on that. But having the competitive fight to do what you said, to fight over screens and just want to compete, you know, that's step one, and he has that.
Look, I know Nurk might not be out to the start that he wants to be so far, but what kind of, like, things are you guys imparting on him, or you just want to speak to the confidence you have in him to turn around and get back to who he is?
I mean, what is this, year 10 for Nurk also? And, you know, he understands, you know, what it is, and, you know, you never want the weight when you play bad, and, you know, he's a competitor, so he's going to come in, he's going to play better, you know, and we're going to rally behind him. We're going to do whatever we need to do, and we know what he's capable of. We've seen it last game, so, you know, we're with him.
Devin, first off. Last one. Devin, first off, nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you, too.
Coach talked about the defensive identity, and you guys are trying to build that. In your opinion, from what you did at the Olympics, usually are the best players. What do you believe goes into building a solid defensive identity?
Communication, one, you know, I think that's the most important. And then two, just what we were saying about Ryan, just, you know, the willingness to compete and actually take matchups personal and take when somebody scores on you personal. You know, let it piss you off, let it get you mad, and, you know, you should wear that.
Thanks, bro.
Yep.
Thanks, bro.
That was a real man, by the way.
Was that a Kanye hoodie?
I don't know. But that would make you respect him more, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I ain't going to tell you what type of person made that hoodie.
The reporter was?
Mm-mm. Royce talking, but let's be honest. Do we need to listen to Royce? All right, we got it straight from the horse's mouth.
I mean, that
Bud
was
and
game
Book.
4. You're
That's
probably going
true.
to want to see how if the team's going to finish strong or not these last few games of the season.
Yeah. If only me head wasn't hurting. And that's the thing, Suzanne. I don't think we're going to get KD. I think we would have got KD already. Anywho's it's. Grayson needs to figure out what's going on. I'm shocked that we didn't see any Monte Morris. We got 3 minutes of him. So I don't even know when he came in. Plumlee came in, scored, and took no shots, scored no points, but got us 8 defensive and 2 offensive rebounds, couple of assists, and a block. A plus 23. Nurkic, a minus 20. So, let it be known, Plumlee's not worthless like Eubanks, at least. Are you at all shocked that Eubanks sucks so bad for us?
No.
Romp says, let's talk about Greg Popovich, a great coach, better human.
Far better human.
You know, he used his
You want to know why?
soapbox.
You want to know why he's a better human, Gabe?
Why?
Because unlike you, he cares. All right? He cares. Okay? You piece of shit.
The weight of that just hit me, man.
It should. I hope
You
it
know?
really stings for a
I
while.
think I need to do better.
You do need to do better. You need to do more.
Let me see here. So, anyone else that needs to be talked about? Tyus Jones, couple of bad games in a row. a -13 plus minus, you know.
What's his assists the last 2 games?
He had 5 today.
How many
which
turnovers?
is pretty dope. Just 1 and 3 steals. So that's actually really good.
I know that first game he had, 8 assists, no turnovers? What did he have last game?
He did have at least 1 turnover last game. It was kind of like almost like a not his fault thing. But his worst game is still better than what we were getting last year out of that position.
That's, yeah.
You know, so it's like all gravy with him. And Book got it going. How do you feel about 11 for 23? Should I not be happy about that?
No, he's a volume shooter. It's fine.
3 for 8 from 3, okay. Led the team in free throws versus the Lakers last time. I believe it was 12 free throws. This time, 8. 2 assists, 1 steal, 2.
He had more free
turnovers.
throws than KD last game. Last game against the Lakers.
I thought so. It might have been that or the Clippers. I might be blurring them together.
Wow.
Travioli TV says a win is a win. This is a great win. I love this goes across to football too. I freaking love when my football team or basketball team wins a game that's like gritty and it looks like they weren't supposed to win. Those are the ones that I feel like really count up at the end of the year, unlike Gary. Those are the ones that I look back on and
that's
I go,
when I
remember
look
when
to
we
fire
were
coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Get them gone.
But next game is the Clips. All right. I believe that game is on Friday? Thursday?
And then after that, you play the Lakers and then the Mavs and then the Clippers and the Lakers again. Right?
And the Mavs.
Okay.
And Lakers.
And then it's All-Star break.
Yeah. Then we're looking at the playoffs.
Playoffs right around the corner.
You know? Travioli,
Games
I
matters,
don't know
folks.
if it's home. I'll look right now, actually. Let's take a little week-ski at ESPN. Suns. Suns. All right. Clippers on the road. At home versus Blazers. Torrey Jones hopefully will be joining. At home versus Sixers. Romp 2.0 hopefully he'll be joining. Then the Heat at home. So we got a 3-game home streak after that. I say we beat the Clippers. Beat the Blazers. Dude, we might really look good at the beginning of this season.
I want you guys fresh when you play us. So there's no excuses for the ass whooping you're going to get.
Oh, shit.
Don't worry. That's 6 months down the road, right before the halfway point.
Yeah, it's basically in-season tournament will be over at that point. What was the free throw differential? Let me take a look-see.
Well, it wasn't in LA, so it's probably
it was a lot
favorable.
better than when we played them there. They shot 18, we shot 20.
That's a good point, Baby Malo. I don't know what I was thinking. I hadn't considered that.
Yeah, do you think Wemby's going to be able to do shit against Ryan Dunn?
I don't think so.
Let me explain to you what's going to happen real quick.
Teach me.
Ryan Dunn's going to bring the ball up. Mm-hmm. Wemby's going to say, I got him.
Oh, shit.
That's where his problems begin.
That's where it all starts.
Okay.
Then what happens?
A crossover.
Oh,
followed by a between, followed behind the back, followed by a pump fake hezzy, followed by a left-handed drive, followed by a fake pump to get his bitch French ass in the air. He doesn't bite. He doesn't bite.
You're right. I can see it as you're saying it.
Turn around, pump fake.
Oh, shit.
He bites.
He bites hard.
He bites.
He don't just bite. He bites hard.
Thrown off the backboard.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a nuts in the mouth are coming.
Well, who's your center?
Wemby.
Who's your power forward? Who else is going to be in the paint? Sohan's Rodman wannabe looking ass.
Kelly
is
Oubre
waiting
2.0.
there.
Yep.
Ryan Dunn catches that thing.
Oh, don't do it.
Unzips his
Don't
shorts
do it.
because he
Oh,
has a
shit.
zipper.
He has a zipper on his.
He's
'cause Ryan
rock
Dunn.
solid at this point.
Man of Steel.
It was the pump fake that he bid on that made him rock hard.
He changed shorts during
But see,
down the entire
the
defense.
problem is at this point, Sohan is like he's so amazed and shocked that his mouth is naturally open,
wide open,
It's not because he wants to receive a package.
double jointed jaw open.
So that's basically what's going to happen.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. It's a good point though.
Burger.
What he said?
He said he doesn't bite, he swallows. And that'll be the end of this stream. Suns win! Suns win! Oh shit, we're winning the Super Bowl, baby! And then the national championship, and then the Stanley Cup, and then oh shit, the pennant, and then
the Grey Cup,
MLS Cup. And the Grey Cup. And what's the X? Is the XFL still there?
The green jacket.
Woo! They're all going to get fitted for green jackets.